Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. Sigma males are different from the crowd. They're loyal to the core, but when you push them too far, they don't react the way others might expect. Their strength isn't in loud outbursts or dramatic confrontations. It's in their quiet, unshakable resolve. When they feel betrayed or disrespected, they don't waste energy on emotional chaos. Instead, they step back, assess the situation, and make a move that's as calculated as it is decisive. You won't hear them complain or try to win you back. They'll simply change the dynamic in a way that leaves you in awe of their power. This isn't about anger, it's about principle. They don't let anyone disrespect their values, and when they've had enough, they handle it on their terms. You might not even see it coming, but you'll know when it happens. Watch this video to understand exactly what a Sigma male does when pushed too far, and why that's a game changer. Number 1. He burns the emotional bridge without a word. When a Sigma male's loyalty is abused, he doesn't bother explaining himself. He doesn't need to have an emotional confrontation or lay out his feelings. Instead, he simply pulls away. Slowly, without making a scene, he starts to disconnect emotionally. The ties you thought were unbreakable, they begin to vanish, and you won't even notice it happening until it's too late. By the time you realize what's going on, the bond you once shared has already been severed. There's no angry confrontation, no yelling, no "I'm done with you." It's far more effective than that. The Sigma male doesn't waste time on a drawn-out process of making you understand why you hurt him. He knows that your actions speak louder than any words he could say. So, instead of getting caught up in emotional exchanges, he just lets go. He emotionally detaches, and when he does, it's permanent. Once he's made the decision to let go, there's no turning back. It's a clean break. And here's the thing, this kind of disconnect isn't done out of anger. It's done out of self-respect. A Sigma male has no tolerance for disrespect or betrayal. Once trust is broken, he doesn't need to dwell on it. He doesn't need closure, he simply moves on, leaving you with the realization that the emotional connection you took for granted is gone. And there's nothing you can do to bring it back. By the time you understand what happened, he's already far beyond the point where he'd consider repairing the damage. He's done, and the space between you will never be filled again. Number 2, he becomes a mirror that reflects your true nature. When you push a loyal Sigma male too far, he doesn't just withdraw or disappear, he turns into a mirror, reflecting the truth you'd rather avoid. Instead of shouting or pointing fingers, he makes you face your own behavior, showing you exactly who you are, whether you like it or not. It's not a direct confrontation, but a series of small, calculated actions that leave you unable to ignore the truth. He'll let you see the consequences of your actions, forcing you to confront your flaws and the damage you've caused without ever saying a word about it. A Sigma male doesn't need to lecture or accuse. His method is more powerful because it's subtle, almost passive. He lets your own behavior speak for itself. His reactions, or lack of them, shine a light on your own insecurities, manipulations, or selfishness. You might think you're getting away with things, but the Sigma male will silently expose the gaps in your character, and that's the moment you begin to realize just how far you've fallen. He doesn't attack. He doesn't try to make you feel guilty. Instead, he simply allows you to see yourself as you truly are. And once you've seen that, there's no hiding from it. The reflection he offers isn't about him, it's about you, showing you the reality of what you've become, forcing you to grapple with your own choices and actions. And when you finally understand what's happened, it's often too late to undo the damage. You'll be left standing there questioning yourself, knowing you've been exposed by the one person you thought you could never fool. Number 3, he shuts the door you didn't know existed. When you push a Sigma male beyond his limits, he doesn't announce it or make a big scene. He does something far more profound. He shuts the door you didn't even know was there. He's a master of hidden boundaries, quietly protecting parts of his life that most people never even get access to. These are the areas where his true self lies, his thoughts, his values, his dreams, and when you cross the line, he locks it all away. Without warning, you're shut out of the parts of him that were once open to you, and you're left reeling, realizing just how little you truly knew about him in the first place. The Sigma male doesn't need to explain this process. He doesn't need to make you feel guilty. He simply takes the power back and reestablishes control over his inner world. When you push him too far, you'll find that the door you took for granted is now closed. and you're locked out. It's not about revenge or anger. It's about preserving his peace, protecting his integrity, and never letting anyone violate the trust he's carefully built. What makes this so powerful is that it happens without drama. You'll notice the silence, the distance, the absence of the parts of him that once felt accessible. And by the time you realize it's happening, it's already too late. You've been shut out, and that door is sealed tight, leaving you to confront the painful truth. You never really knew him at all. Number 4, he uses your underestimation as fuel. If you've ever underestimated a Sigma male, you've made a grave mistake. When you push him too far, he doesn't fold under pressure. Instead, he uses your doubt and dismissal as fuel to propel himself further. The more you underestimate his resilience, intelligence, or abilities, the more determined he becomes to prove you wrong in ways that are nothing short of unforgettable. For a Sigma male, being pushed to the edge doesn't break him. It unlocks a side of him that is rarely seen. He thrives in adversity, turning every ounce of doubt into pure, unrelenting strength. This isn't about showing off or proving something to you. It's about his personal standards and the quiet drive that keeps him moving forward. The more you try to dismiss him or write him off, the more he's motivated to succeed in ways that completely shatter your expectations. He doesn't need to shout about his victories or boast about his achievements. His actions alone speak volumes. What makes him unstoppable is that he doesn't let external forces, whether it's criticism or underestimation, deter him. Instead, he absorbs it, refines it, and uses it to fuel his rise. And when he does succeed, it won't be with fanfare. It'll be with quiet confidence, leaving you and everyone else in awe of what he's capable of. You'll look back and realize that all along the Sigma male was never the one to doubt. It was you. Number 5, he dismantles the relationship with surgical precision. When a Sigma male decides a relationship is over, he doesn't create chaos or drama. He doesn't storm out or make a big spectacle of the breakup. Instead, he dismantles the relationship with the precision of a surgeon. Every step is deliberate, every move is calculated, and there's no room for misunderstanding. He dissects the bond you shared, carefully removing each connection, each thread, until there's nothing left but the cold reality that you're no longer a part of his life. It's not about anger or revenge, it's about control over his emotions, his boundaries, and his future. He doesn't need to yell, beg, or plead for you to understand. The end is final, and he makes sure you know it without a single word. He cuts off contact without hesitation, and by the time you realize what's happening, it's already too late. There's no mess, no fallout, and no closure. The relationship simply ceases to exist, as if it was never there. You won't be left with lingering questions or hope for reconciliation. The Sigma male isn't interested in dragging things out or keeping you on the hook. He's methodical and precise, and when he's done, the relationship is dismantled with such finesse that you'll barely have the chance to grasp the full impact. What's left behind is undeniable. The truth that you've been removed from his life and there's no going back. Number 6, he becomes unreachable on every level. When a Sigma male decides he's had enough, he becomes unreachable in ways you never imagined. It's not just about ignoring your calls or leaving your texts unanswered, it's much deeper than that. He mentally and emotionally detaches, pulling himself out of your reach entirely. He won't just shut you out physically. He'll remove himself from your thoughts, your feelings, and even the space around you. You'll feel his absence in every part of your life, but no matter how hard you try, you'll never be able to fill the void he's left behind. He doesn't do this with drama or an explanation. There's no need for closure or final words. The Sigma male's detachment is a quiet, absolute thing. Once he's made up his mind, he's gone. You won't sense him hanging around, lingering in the background, or trying to find a way back in. He simply removes himself from your orbit, and the impact is felt in a way that can't be ignored. You'll sense that something has shifted, that you're no longer important to him, and that realization is far more painful than any confrontation. What's haunting about this is that it's not something you can argue against or try to fix. The Sigma male doesn't give you a chance to make things right. When he's done, he's done. And you'll be left trying to come to terms with the silence and the coldness he's left behind. And in that emptiness, you'll know that you've lost him for good. Number 7, he turns your power play into his playground. When you push a Sigma male too far, he doesn't just take your attempts at control lying down. He flips the script entirely. Where you thought you were in charge, he turns the tables and makes your power play his playground. Every move you make to manipulate him, he uses it to his advantage, twisting the very dynamics you tried to set into something that works in his favor. The more you try to control him, the more you'll find that he steps ahead, using your tactics against you in ways you never saw coming. Sigma males don't respond to manipulation with submission. They outsmart it. If you try to dominate him emotionally, financially, or mentally, you'll soon realize that you're not the one calling the shots. His calm, measured responses and his ability to remain composed under pressure allow him to absorb your attempts and turn them into opportunities. You might think you've found a way to keep him in check, but he's already shifted the power back into his hands without you even noticing. What makes this so devastating is that it's not even about retaliation. The Sigma male doesn't need to fight back with anger or drama. He simply takes control of the situation in a quiet, methodical way that leaves you questioning how you ever thought you had the upper hand. By the time you realize what's happening, it's too late. He's already turned your power play into his new advantage, and you're left wondering how you could have been so blind. Number 8, he removes all the benefits you took for granted. When a Sigma male decides he's had enough, the shift is sharp and immediate. All the loyalty, support, and trust that were once the foundation of your relationship vanish. He doesn't announce it or make a grand gesture. He simply withdraws every ounce of the benefits you took for granted. You might not have realized how much you leaned on his strength, his wisdom, or his calm presence until they're gone. And when they're gone, the void is overwhelming. He stops being the emotional anchor, the problem solver, the steady hand that was always there for you. The things you once assumed were constants, his unwavering support, his quiet confidence in your abilities, the deep trust he had in you, are now absent. It's a hard awakening, realizing that you've relied on someone who was so solid, only to lose it all when you pushed him too far. What's striking is that this isn't a vengeful act. It's not about punishing you, it's about restoring balance and protecting his own peace. The Sigma male doesn't hold grudges or make a spectacle of the situation. Instead, he quietly pulls away, cutting off the very things you depended on without making a fuss. And once he's withdrawn, you're left facing the consequences of your actions. You'll feel the absence of everything he gave you, and the realization will hit hard. You didn't just lose his loyalty or support. You lost the very foundation of what made him a constant in your life. Number 9, he becomes unapologetically self-focused. When you push a Sigma male too far, he shifts his focus completely. The energy he once invested into the relationship, trying to make things work, supporting you and giving you his time, vanishes. He no longer spends his efforts trying to fix things or meet your expectations. Instead, he redirects everything inward. His goals, ambitions, and well-being become his sole priority, and you fade into the background, nothing more than an afterthought. This shift isn't dramatic or fueled by anger. It's simply a natural response to being pushed to the limit. The Sigma male doesn't beg for attention or plead for validation. He quietly understands that his time and energy are his most valuable assets, and he has no problem withdrawing them from anything that no longer serves him. Once he's made the decision, he'll focus on his personal growth, his aspirations, and his own mental and emotional health, leaving little room for anything else. You'll notice the change in the way he carries himself. The attention you once got, gone. The time he used to spend trying to solve problems or offer support, redirected to bettering himself. He becomes unapologetically self-focused, knowing that his own progress is what truly matters. It's a stark contrast to the man who once invested so much into the relationship, and you'll be left grappling with the realization that you lost him, not because he was incapable of loyalty or commitment, but because you pushed him to a point where his own growth became the only thing worth his time. Number 10. He exposes your manipulations without breaking a sweat. When a Sigma male feels like he's been manipulated, he doesn't get emotional or try to call you out in an outburst. He's too smart for that. Instead, he watches, listens, and quietly observes every detail of your actions. He's got a sharp radar for deception and knows exactly when something feels off. If you push him far enough, he'll dismantle your manipulation in a way that will leave you stunned, without breaking a sweat. He doesn't need to make a big show of exposing you. A Sigma male's strength lies in his ability to do this methodically and with cold precision. He'll start pointing out your inconsistencies, your little lies, and the holes in your story, without making it obvious that he's onto you. He'll ask questions, make statements that seem harmless on the surface, and give you just enough rope to hang yourself. By the time he's done, you'll be fully aware of how transparent your actions were because he's already peeled back the layers of your deception, leaving you exposed. The best part? He doesn't need to raise his voice or get angry to make his point. The way he handles it is calm, collected, and almost passive. But don't be fooled. What's happening behind the scenes is an unraveling of everything you thought you were hiding. By the time you realize what he's doing, the damage has already been done. You'll know that he's seen through your game and there's nothing you can do to recover the ground you've lost. The Sigma male doesn't just catch you in a lie, he makes sure you fully understand how transparent you were without you ever seeing it coming. When you push a loyal Sigma male too far, the consequences are rarely what you expect. He doesn't fight back with noise, anger, or drama. Instead, he pulls away sharp and decisive, with a calm that feels like a warning. The quiet strength of a Sigma male means that when he's done, he's truly done, and you'll be left feeling the void of everything you once took for granted. Understand this, a Sigma male's loyalty is earned, not expected. When he invests in someone, it's genuine, and when that trust is broken, he doesn't hesitate to withdraw. It's not about revenge, it's about self-preservation. The Sigma male knows his worth and doesn't tolerate anything that threatens his peace or personal growth. So if you're a Sigma male, take this as a reminder of your own power. You have the ability to rise above, to walk away, to protect your peace, and to never settle for anything that doesn't align with your values. If you find yourself in a toxic situation, trust your instinct, focus on your goals, and know that you are worthy of loyalty, respect, and authenticity. For everyone else, this is a lesson in understanding the depths of a Sigma male's character. If you're lucky enough to have his trust, value it. If you lose it, know that regaining it is nearly impossible. Respect his space, and understand that loyalty is not something that can be demanded, it's something that must be earned and maintained. If you're still watching, subscribe and join for more insights into the extraordinary nature of Sigma males. Thank you for watching and God bless.